All right. Hello. Welcome to Court of the Rings on twitch.tv/LotraStream. I'm your community manager, Cordovan. With you for the next hour, I've got some news of the week. We've done some stuff this week. I'll have a look at what we're doing next week. Chat a little bit about the long holiday weekend here. Have a little bit of news about Extra Life and a few other things. And otherwise, I really want to be in game doing some questing here. I'm working through the battle for Hamat, and so I thought I would really just do a bunch of questing here to round out the show. I know that we have the Tolkien professor afterwards. I'm not sure if Druid's Fire is on this week. I know Druid's Fire has been having some computer technical difficulties, but you can find our full schedule for the weekend on twitch.tv/LotraStream. Good long weekend if you're sitting in game, maybe doing transfers, whatever you might be doing this weekend. Want to get some Lotro community time in? Check out Twitch. We've got a bunch of streams all weekend long. Oh, I hear from Druid's Fire. Due to don't call it a hoarding problem, I guess you got a replacement. I appreciate that. Well, I've got this. I've got layers. Actually, someone in my life recently busted a phone, and I was like, "Oh, well, I got an older replacement. You can have this." And then that phone got busted about a week or two later, and I was like, "Well, I got this replacement too." So I get it. I get it. All right, let's get to some news. The first thing I want to put up on the screen here is our big piece of news of the week. This debuted yesterday. There have been some hints that we were going to do something like this, but yes, we are. We are bringing back our free coupon code for a whole bunch of content. This is through November 3rd, so you got all of September and all of October and this weekend and such to take care of it. But spread the word. Get your friends in. If you want to, get people set up to play with you, this is about as good as it gets. The coupon code is Explore Our World, and you can redeem it through to November 3rd. And you'll see it just gets you a ton of quest packs. I mean, just a ton of them. All the way up through the quest pack Fate of Gundabad, War of Three Peaks, Minas Morgul, Mordor, Yondershire. I mean, just it goes on. You get the further adventures of Eladon and Elrohir and Bilbo Baggins, and just all sorts of stuff that you can pick up. Additionally, we have some low Lotro point items available in the Lotro store through November 3rd. This time we are adding the Instance Cluster Return to Karn Doom and the quest pack Gondor Renewed. So basically taking you up to Corsairs of Umbar here is for the most part. The 99 points aren't for Mordor, Minas Morgul, War of Three Peaks, or Fate of Gundabad this time versus the one we did in 2022 because they're just now free as part of the coupon code. But that is through November 3rd, so you should check that out. Many of you already have. I mean, we've had tons of community redemptions of this thing already. But this is going to be going on for a long time because this is a great opportunity with our new 64-bit worlds. Bring in your friends, do whatever you need to do, whatever you want to do for game time here, and take advantage of this coupon. However, this is also a big weekend because times they are a-chonging. And our 32-bit worlds are closing after this weekend. So I actually have some formal timing soon that I can put up on the screen here in just a second because we said after August 31st. It's not like midnight August 31st. I'll have specific timing here shortly. But this is your last weekend to log into the 32-bit game worlds, get done whatever you need to get done. You can just transfer them off right now, but if you can't, or if you got some kind of issue or whatever, we are going to be bringing the current 32-bit worlds back as Dark Worlds shortly. and then there'll be a period of transfers from them for a couple of years, similar to the last time we did Dark Worlds. The transfers from the current Dark Worlds that are available to transfer from ends with this. But the current 32-bit world's going to reopen as Dark Worlds. Timing TBD, but not too long from now. And then go on for a few years. But the big thing is you can't log in to Dark Worlds. It's not possible to actually log into one of these game worlds. So if there's anything you need to do that involves you logging into a thing, then go and do that by 9 a.m. on August 3rd. That is the formal timing I am here to bring up. Let me get that announcement. Where do I have that announcement now? I just did it yesterday. Here we go. Somehow I deleted my back. What? I deleted my spinny ringy thingy. How did I do that? What did I do? Do I have another image? I don't have another image. Okay, well, I won't deal with that right now. We'll just change scenes. However, you have until 9 a.m. Eastern to log into the 32-bit game world. So at 9 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday, September 3rd, basically when we bring our game worlds down for the weekly maintenance work that it most definitely needs to happen this Wednesday because we've got a bunch of server stuff to do, you won't be able to log into the 32-bit world. So if you're one of those folks that wants to be there till the last second, if you want to be there when it shuts down, that will be 9 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday, September 3rd. Next Wednesday. And if you do have an outstanding ticket with us, we will sort that as quickly as we can. My scene isn't scening. Why? Maybe I do need to just... What happened there? Okay, anyway. We have a 25% loot box Embers and Moats boost this weekend. That's the bonus of the weekend. But then also the free quest and coupons, really the big thing that is happening this weekend. I would also point out that we did release update 45.3 this week. You can get the release notes over on Lotra.com. We did some work on the egg scramble, festivals and events work, a specific Fire and Frostlord debuff and PvMP. We discontinued the legacy 32-bit game client. You can continue to use the supported 32-bit game client through the options in the game launcher, but the old legacy version is now gone. The other big piece of news is that the raid opened this week. It opened yesterday, and that was on the legendary worlds of Angmar and Mordor, so that was a to-do as well. But you can get the release notes over on Lotra.com. Otherwise, I would just mention we have some upcoming deadlines. The Curator returned recently and is available through September 1st, so that's coming up pretty quick. Make sure to pick up your rewards from the Curator if you have not yet done so. I would also point out that this is the final weekend of the Farmers Fair, so there's still time to get your rewards and get your stuff. But this continues until 3 a.m. Eastern on September 2nd, so through Monday. Shutting off at 3 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday morning. All right, before I head in-game, let me... Oh, and Hardtack Crafting comes back next week. That kicks off at Monday, 10 a.m. I currently see a casual stroll here on Twitch scheduled for next Wednesday. I'll have to chat quick with Scenario and make sure that's happening. And then we have a Virtue XP boost kicking off next Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. All right, let me take a look at chat quick, see if there's any questions I need to get to. Seen some really sick-looking swords floating around. When is that supporter pack dropping? We're going to have more news about that supporter pack real soon here. Not yesterday is the answer to that question. It did not debut yesterday, but as has been noted, some people have found some things, and we do in fact have a new supporter pack incoming. So we'll have news pretty soon, including some cool video and screenshots and things like that of that supporter pack that you were talking about, that you saw earlier with a really sick-looking sword, of which I agree. Even if you're VIP, someone says, you ought to do the quest pack coupon just in case something gets messed up with your credit card or something. Someday, maybe you don't want to be VIP. Yeah, I absolutely, everyone who has a Locher Game account or might want a Locher Game account, now's the time to get your friends to sign up Locher Game accounts and get that quest pack coupon put into it. But yeah, even if you're VIP, just apply the coupon code anyway. Doesn't hurt, may not get you anything right now, but it future-proofs it no matter what. Did I say August 3rd? What? I meant, every time I said August 3rd, I meant September 3rd. Great. Server maintenance, does that mean extended downtime Wednesday? TBD, I don't know. My current understanding is it'll be something like a regular downtime on Wednesday, but yes, we do in fact have all sorts of work happening next Wednesday. So I don't know what the timing will be. If it's not Eastern time, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., we'll let you know something like probably Monday, Tuesday. My current understanding, though, is that window should be adequate, but there's stuff that has to happen, so it will be happening on Wednesday. Is there a chance of new 64-bit worlds in the future? Well, it's not really necessary at this point. We just debuted a whole bunch of new worlds, 64-bit game worlds. But sure, in the future, legendary worlds that might come out or whatever kind of, if we ever do a Bombadil thing again, Trial of the Twins or something like that, I mean, whatever we end up doing, those would be 64-bit worlds. So... Did I mention the housing Q&A later? I did not, and thank you for bringing that up. I'm actually going to put that one on the screen as soon as I get my link. I forgot to put the link up. We have got, this is happening in the Deco du Milieu Discord this afternoon. For a couple hours, we are going to have Scenario and others in the Deco du Milieu Discord. Let me just, so I can pop this on the screen here. Housing Q&A with members of the Locher team. This is by Deco du Milieu, long-standing housing and item and just Locher blog. Every year around this time, we do a Q&A session with Deco du Milieu working on housing. So, 2 p.m. Eastern today, over in the Deco du Milieu Discord, we're going to have Scenario and others doing a chat. So if you want to ask about housing, this is the place to do it. And that's happening today. I also do know we have a bunch of related, because this is the final weekend on the 32-bit Worlds, concerts and other things happening this weekend. So good luck to everyone doing stuff like that. Okay. Let me just real quick see what other questions. I didn't quite get through the list. I am not aware of any festival extension this time. When will the expansion details come out? Later. I can't provide any timing at this point for pre-purchase or Bulwer preview information for our next expansion, other than to let you know it's next. And so sooner rather than later, but it'll be weeks, not days. And I guess that answers the other question about what timing I can speak of with regard to the expansion. Can we, quote, still undelete characters from some years ago? I think that is in large part going to depend on where your character is that needs to be undeleted. There are worlds, for example, like Anor and Ithil, or worlds that aren't even dark worlds and that it can't be possible. But if it's possible to do, then CS can work with you on that. You can contact them through help.standingstonegames.com. Yeah, I don't know, Mac Apple, about redecorating housing after a transfer. I know it's a lot of work. I don't have any tips, but I bet Deco GMLU does. I bet they can sort of figure out how to best transfer housing stuff. All right, let's do this. You know, every now and then things come up on the live stream about what, things we can do in one game but can't do in another, and whether we can bring it over. One of the things that I have heard from the DDO community over the years, really, but I've also been interested is these folks right here. See this group of Subuzuri here? They can't do that in Dungeons & Dragons Online. They would have to manually place every single one of the NPCs, whereas in Lotro there are sort of mapped clusters of things that you can do like that. And internally we call them something like war walls. And I've always wanted to be able to do war walls in the other game. I know I'm not the only one there. The subject of war walls came up this week, which is that's a great example of it right there. I think. Alright, I need to get your chat back up on my screen. Hang on a second. Alright. Yeah, War Walls, not Oasis. Well, I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do with placed NPCs and stuff, but there's a specific group of category of sort of placement of clusters of friendlies or enemies for decoration purposes that does not exist in Dungeons & Dragons Online. Like this. I think that's another example of it right here. See how they're all just kind of sitting there? My understanding is this is roughly something like one entity, rather than, say, individually placed 12, 13 people. It may be individually placed 12, 13 people, essentially created into some kind of, like, folder scenario. But still, there's some technical considerations that prevent that, as it currently stands in the other game. Alright. Sadly, we have never really been able to offer any kind of merchandise for the Lord of the Rings Online. We don't have a merchandising license, for one thing. We could, in theory, get that. But We don't really have that infrastructure in place to do physical merchandising sales, and we never really have. So all the physical swag that you see for the Lord of the Rings Online is largely created for conventions or employee use. But we can't sell any of that stuff. We can give it away for marketing, promotional reasons, but we can't sell it. And so as a result, we've never really been able to offer that kind of physical swag that you're looking for. Alright, where's the next tar pot? Why do I not see it? Did I go too far? Maybe the other tar pots are back this way, perhaps? I mean, I could just fight things, but... Oh, there's one. Good. I'm an old band dude from the 90s. I'm Gen X. I love my physical swag. I love physical swag. There's nothing that would make me happier than being able to maintain a list of, say, t-shirts and CDs and vinyl records and things like that for the Lord of the Rings Online. I am down. I have been down for a long time. But the reality of the business is it's just not something that we've been able to do today. Alright, I need one more tar pot here. Which way should I be going? Dum-dum-dum. I really don't see any tar pots in there, so I think I'm going to just move this way. Yeah, a coffee mug. We should have a coffee mug. However, we did do, recently, a meetup at Gen Con in Indianapolis, and we were able to give out posters and t-shirts and things like that there. We were at PAX East this year, doing the same thing. So there is some opportunity, if you're able to do those kind of events, to be able to perhaps get some swag, but the idea of just, hey, can I just buy it? Come on, let me just buy this stuff. Is sadly not a reality for us. I'm playing a champion, a Stout Axe champion, a Stout Axe dwarf folk champion. Alright, I feel like either I missed... Oh, yeah, I see one up there. Okay, there's my, tar pot. Well, you say that it's funny. The secret is that the merch is all in my car trunk. You're not wrong, actually, in some ways. Because it has, in fact, been the case that I have stored Lotro swag in the trunk of my car until I could get it back into its shelf in the office for some amount of time, and since I work from home these days, my number of times I get to the office is not particularly great, so I might in fact still have some Gen Con stuff. Right now, sitting in the trunk of my car. Oh, well, it's supposed to be taking the hilltop here. Which hilltop is that? I'm not seeing a way to continue here, so this is clearly not the hilltop I'm supposed to... This is not the hill to die on. Oh, and that's my wall. So, let's go back this way. Oops. Oops. Did I jam myself? Okay. Nope. This way? This way. There we go. Oh, you're right, I am just dual-wielding with one weapon. Where's my other weapon? Where did my other weapon go? Because I swapped over to that fishing pole. Here we go. Can't do it in combat, but as soon as this combat's done... Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't even notice. I wasn't even paying enough attention to it. Because you sort of take your character for granted in some ways. At least I do. I wasn't paying attention. That may be how I actually had that fishing pole out a couple weeks ago, but at least I didn't do that this week. It's true, I also have a bad habit of accidentally selling my offhand weapons. But, thankfully, I can now equip it. Well, that'll help. I know that it's same with the birding spyglass. I constantly forget to re-equip it, but nonetheless, here we are. So. All right. Alright. So far, so good? Yeah, I am. I mean, seriously though, I'm absolutely terrible at remembering. Because the thing is, I often do birding, or in this case, it was just the daily for Farmer's Fair. And I did it right before I went to bed, and, you know, I sold or whatever quick, I talked to the NPC, but I forgot to re-equip my weapon. And then, of course, the next time I log in, yeah, I don't remember exactly where I was last time, so I'm just like, oh, just start logging into the game and playing. And then at some point, I'll either face my first combatant, or here. Someone on stream will be like, wait a second, why are you, you're missing something. And I'll be like, oh. What's my favorite class? It's a loaded subject. I actually would maybe say champion here, because they do cool stuff, things die, or are defeated. I do like my Stampion champion. It's true, in the other game we don't have that problem. You can just swap weapons wherever. But they don't have the same exploits either, so. Oh, speaking of Chord on Tour events, where I go places and have Lotro events, I have no idea exactly what's going to be happening. This is sort of coming together fairly quick for me. But I had mentioned at the start of the show a little bit of news about Extra Life. And per usual, Team Standing Stone Games will be taking part in Extra Life. We have our team page up right now. Per usual as well, we're not kicking off the fundraising campaign until like October sometime, because it's a ton of work on my part and a ton of extra office hour work. For realsies, I'm putting in like 100 hours on the side. And so it's not kicking off till October. However, for game day this year, I just recently accepted an invitation to fly to Salt Lake City, Utah for the Extra Life Unlocked game day gathering. So I think, exactly what this means is not 100% clear to me yet, but I think it means something along the lines of I'm going to be at one of the main locations for Extra Life when they're Extra Life for game day. I'm going to be live streaming from there, because I already said, you know, we'll make sure we get you set up with computers able to live stream. I'll probably be able to do some chatting with various people from the Extra Life organization, and I think even interacting with some people who have received benefits and things from there. But I think really it's just kind of we're going to be in the main hub this year, streaming Lotro, and DDO, but Lotro, for Extra Life Game Day. How cool is that? So that should be a really amazing time. Should be really neat. And some neat publicity for the Lotro stream team and Team Standing Stone Games. You know, good stuff. Good stuff. I don't know more than that, because I haven't even had time to put together Extra Life really this year, other than in a general sense, and doing a few bits like getting the team registered. But it should be a particularly unique Extra Life game day this year. So, neat. Neat. We need to make sure to camp here and fortify. We need to set up tents, do other stuff. I don't know what Extra Life is going to be this year for rewards. I think in some ways it'll be similar to past years, with a couple of things added to it. My belief is we've got, at the very least, I know a couple of items that were from 10 years ago that are coming back. That's already been on my list for a while, but I haven't done the work to really look at the list of what we have and what we can have. Let's see if there's anything new. There usually is, though. That'll be Saturday. I'm going off the top of my head here. I hope I get it right. Saturday, November 8th, I think, is the date. Alright, so now we have another assault. Yeah, I've never done anything like that. I've never been to one of those places. I've never really... I hear from the Extra Life people, because, you know, they do very much appreciate the work we do. You know, we have been for years now the top... For the most part, I think there are people who are close too, but for the most part, we are the top fundraiser for the Boston Children's Hospital for Extra Life and have been for some number of years now. Certainly among the top. And they recognize that. And so I think that that's really, they were just like, hey, let's get you here this year. Can we do that? And various people at, throughout the organization were like, yeah, you should do that this year. So it's going to happen. What's really funny to me, though, is I'm a Midwesterner for the most part, raised and born in Rhode Island and lived now for, almost 15 years in Massachusetts. And yet somehow, weirdly, in the past 2 years, I have found myself going to Salt Lake City, Utah. Not once or twice, but thrice. This will be the third time in 2 years I've been to Salt Lake City, Utah. Just sort of weird circumstances have found me there every time. I know their airport exceptionally well at this point. And I'm not even really a big traveler or anything. That's the other bit. I would love to see this, this Ortekai Battle Cat reused for play or something or other. I would not be at all surprised if we saw something like that in the future. Because that seems like an easy yes. Yeah, I like this cloak too. This is from one of the patrons' coffers. This would be from what, our most recent Gondorian, I think. I can't show it. But there might be something in this character's inventory that might be coming out soon. That was referenced earlier in the show. It was got delivered to my inbox as part of a testing procedure. It remains there until it's live. Might also be the same reason people know it's coming. Alright, Mazzotti, let's do this. Where are you headed? Are you just waiting for me? Alright, well, we can take care of you anyway. Who is doing this speaking? That would be you, huh? Nope. I challenge you. Nope. What are you talking about, the expansion? No. Okay. I mean... Gosh. Dumbo, no. This reminds me of the ancient fable where a whole bunch of people see one part of the elephant and all think it's different things. Stampion is like, oh my gosh, enraged Moomoks are the worst. They're like these giant feet that just crush you. Ooh, someone's saying the way I say Mazzotti is more reminiscent of Star Trek, and I don't remember a Mazzotti in Star Trek, but that doesn't mean anything. I hope I'm saying it relatively correct. I apologize if I am not. Barshud has escaped! No! He was right here, and he slipped through my grasp. At least that monster was defeated. Thank you for that. I know not how many Subuzuri would have fallen had you not been here to slay the beast. I don't know how many of you are Trekkies out there. I've kind of been one for a long time. I've been really enjoying Strange New Worlds. I don't know how many of you are watching that at all, but I've been digging that show. It's been pretty fun. I guess it gets the Cordo recommendation. A Battle for Hamat, Part 3. We celebrate a victory, but it is bittersweet. I meant to see the end of Barshud, but he survived. If left alone, he will regain an army and make war on Shigana once more. I need to think about this, but Shigana is not safe while Barshud breathes. That is a matter for another day. Now we should gather the others and celebrate the victory, incomplete as it feels. We have driven Barshud out of Shigana and destroyed his fighting force, and that is cause to celebrate. This is a new day. For the first time in generations, Shigani can control their own destiny. We have much to be thankful for. Hamat renewed. Now that we're all gathered here and the day has been won, I would have words and express my gratitude to each of you. I'd like to start this concert by thanking each and every one of you. Thank you, 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 thank you. Yep. If I had to guess, Barshut is likely headed south, back to Ordok, and the Hool with his tail between his legs. My spies will follow, and he will not escape justice. But his end is for a different day. Today we celebrate and rejoice. They all get end rewards too. Numuru can attest to my superstitious nature and the small gifts I have tendered him over his time with me. Yeah, I love stuff. Yeah, Numuru is tall. Gather the gifts and distribute them. Okay. Oh. A saddle for Amalibi. It has not been easy to come together with everything that's happened these past few weeks, but I thank you. Girhazi. A horn, in the spirit of which it is given. If Hamat ever needs aid, know we shall remain at the ready. Rahazi. It gets a real Subuzuri blade. This is quite the weapon. I shall not always use it, but when I do, know I will think of you. And Numuru gets an axe with a fine balance. For you, Rahazi, yes, you seem to rejoice in combat. The special Subuzuri blade, longer with a specialty balanced hilt. I haven't seen the new Alien TV show yet. I've been hearing about it, but I haven't seen it. I don't really get to watch a lot of TV, but I did check out that Star Trek, and I've been up to that, so. Here's a horn to call for aid, but you better have that person on a horse. The Dumuri stand ready to join in battle should the need arise. One of my scouts will ride with you. They can be dispatched at any time at your discretion, but they can also ride to me at any time of your choosing, and warn if you need aid. No longer will the Cood stand alone. We will be there to aid you. And yeah, I'll take your scout. Hamat once ruled all of Shigana, all under a single banner. I ride for Hamat, and in my blood flows that of Erigine the Queller, uniter of Shigana. But being with you all, I don't wish to be Shara of all Shigana. I would rule with all of you, not over you. You do not want the crown of Hamat, is what I agree with. You do not want to rule over all Shigana, which is why you should, my Shara. My Shara. My Shara. Oh, I can bow too. There we go. What do I... Oh, I need a target and bow. Okay, there we go. May all of Shigana be free. For Hamat renewed. For Hamat renewed. I didn't get the chance. Finally, this is a gift for you, Stampion. You have been my steadfast friend and compatriot through all the events over these past several weeks, and for that I am extremely grateful. You will always have a welcome place in my halls and in Shigana for everything you've done for her people and for me. Thank you. We're really bringing clearly an end to this chapter that we've been doing for a little while. I would just point out that you do get one of these. You do get the Crown of Hamat themes for completing this, a lively essence box, and then a pick of, I'm assuming bracelet, what do I want? Yeah. Probably that one, the Fury. Okay. The Hidden Fortress, which is obviously the raid, so. Ain't gonna be soloing that today in the next 6 minutes, but there we go. So we have now brought ourselves up to Crown of Hamat and ready. I've still got some instances and missions to run and some other things as well. As a matter of fact, maybe that might be the best way to wrap up the show, is just run a quick instance or mission here. Corey is not up next. Some computer issues. Yes, the code is Explore Our World. Is the code. Where is... There we go. Tazi, so that means the mission giver is over here. Go.
What say you, traveler?
Well, it's nice to see you there, Gantaran. I know you're quite some ways away from here, so neat to see you. And yeah, I'm just wrapping up. We finished up Crown of Hamat. We did the news, really the first part of the show, and I'm just wrapping something up with a quick mission. It's great to have this code out there, and just so you know, your compatriots over on the Dungeons and Dragons online side are a little on the jealous side this weekend because they've been knowing that one's coming their way too pretty soon. But we have some specific game performance issues that must be sorted on the DDO side before we can bring something like this out. I would actually say that there is an overlap on that game performance work for Lotro as well, and by that I mean we have not forgotten about Lotro's own concerns with game performance, especially of late how it relates to spaces around the party tree, Bywater, and other locations that you've seen. We have spent a pretty good amount of time this week looking into it, in addition to the other game performance work that's been underway this week. And we will be taking steps as soon as we can to resolve this. However, we didn't hold up the code for it like we did over on the DDO side, because over on that side it's significantly more severe. In general, I don't recommend making purchases from the Lotro store from the character select screen. For account-based unlocks like quest packs, it's fine. But sometimes the store, especially if you've got you can get into a state where you buy something that's to a character, and then the store doesn't know who to send it to because there is no character. And so in general, I'd go into the world itself to apply coupon codes. It is limited to account items, at least in theory it is, but coupon codes, my understanding is coupon codes can bypass that. So if you try to apply a coupon code from character select that contains a package of items, and one of the items in that package is character bound, as in must be sent to a character, then you can run into issues. In general, I recommend redeeming coupon codes from in-world as a general rule. I assume pretty much anyone who is into Tolkien and is heading over into New Zealand is going to do something Tolkien related while there. I mean, gosh, unless they can't, why wouldn't you? So we've got, it sounds like Signum might be doing a thing in New Zealand, and you would assume that they're gonna Tolkien it up. I mean, about the only thing I'd want to see as much as Lord of the Rings stuff in New Zealand would be Xena stuff in New Zealand. Is there like a Lucy Lawless museum? Because I'll go to that. I'll go to that. I would absolutely go to that. All right. Well,
This valley belongs to
we
the
are going to
Hamat,
call it a show
and no
here. So
one
thank you
else.
so much for watching Court of the
Travel
Rings
with
on
care,
Twitch and
friend.
YouTube. If you
They
are
know
watching
what
this
all about.
over on YouTube, please consider giving us a like. Leave a comment if you want to. I do read the comments. Do not tend to respond to them because YouTube chat, but do read everything that you send us over on YouTube. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for playing Lotro. Hope you enjoy this coupon. Hope you enjoy your long weekend in the United States if you get it off for Labor Day. And otherwise, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.